a solid week of practice. Tough offense to prepare for with the tempo and the speed. I think we've accomplished a lot. We still got to wrap a few things up tomorrow, and then we get on the plane and get ready to go. But I think it's been a solid week.
Are there any significant similarities between your offense and their offense?
Yeah, there's a lot of different things that they do. I think Oregon's a little bit more extensive in the running game. They have some option and things that they throw at you. You got to prepare for, obviously. So they're really good. I mean, we know what we're going up against. Got a lot of respect for their program, their coaches, the way they play. And it's going to be a great challenge for us.
One of the things Coach Jones referenced on Monday was how they're able to create space with their offense. In regards to that, how important is tackling this week, and how big of an emphasis is that?
Well, that's been huge. Throughout the week, talking about tackling in space in particular, talking about leveraging the football. They've got a lot of speed. They can break down angles very quickly. Their run game is extensive. They've got a lot of different things that they can throw at you, so you have to be on point in a lot of different areas. And so our focus has been on leveraging the football. Obviously, great pursuit and tackling in space.
What kind of technical difficulties do they present just in terms of getting substitutes on the field? You feel
if they don't sub, you can't sub. That's just the way it is. And if they catch you trying to sneak a guy on, they'll speed up the tempo and you'll get slapped with a 5-yard penalty. So our emphasis has been, playing a lot. We scripted differently this week. We scripted more plays in a row. So just trying to get ready.
How important is it to get more production and maybe some big plays out of Daniel McCullers going forward? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's huge. Dan is a big guy. He primarily a run stopper right now. He's got to become more active. He's got to be better in pass rush. And I don't mind saying that because we've all said that to him to his face. He knows that. He just has to make a decision to really focus on it and get better.
And how impressed have you been with Daniel this year?
I love Dan. He does everything we ask him to do. He's very smart. He gets lined up appropriately all the time. Helps out other guys get lined up. And the first ball game when I saw him get that interception, I was real happy for him because I know he's worked real hard and he's had a long road up to this point, and it's great to see him playing at a high level.
John, with Mariota, is it based on the front four? Those guys have to keep him contained. Do you spy? How do you make sure?
I don't want to get into too much strategy, Paul, but those are all very good thoughts. You have to mix it up on him. He's very athletic. He's got tremendous speed, a great burst. When you see him on film, he just outruns angles, and so you have to have a plan. That's for sure.
And how much burden does that put on your defensive backs where they're trying to turn over their shoulder when
they can't worry about that. They have to stay in coverage, and that has to be handled by the front seven, and making sure that.
Is he unique in just how sudden he is? I mean, for how long he is, but he just before you know it, he's 30 yards down the field.
It's amazing when you see him decide to take off with the ball, the acceleration that he has, the speed in which he just pulls away from people is remarkable. It's impressive to watch. So we got to keep him in the pocket. We got to keep him contained.
See Oregon's offensive line. I know they're a little bit different. They're not quite as big, but they seem to be really mobile and obviously conditioned and everything.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would say. They're athletic guys. They they try and stretch you. They get on your tips. They make you move your feet. They are athletic, and they're good in pass protection too. Really good in pass protection. So I know our defensive line has a big challenge going this season. Every SEC line's a little bit different, based on experience and scheme. Obviously, you take a school like Alabama or Georgia, they're going to be smaller, but they're not asking them to do the things that those teams are trying to accomplish on offense. So I would say they're probably along the lines, of a Texas A&M, a spread offensive line. They're not overly big. They're athletic. They can get on angles. Those are the things that they're doing, and that's what they've recruited to.
John, I imagine that playing an offense like Oregon will put stress on all three levels and all 11 guys, particularly with your safeties. What's the biggest challenge that they're going to face on Saturday?
Tackling in space and leveraging the ball. Those are going to be the challenges. The ball is going to get out on the perimeter, and they got to do a good job of getting on angles and closing space and making sure that they get the guy down.
How conscious do you think they are that what they go up against, you can't really simulate that kind of speed that Oregon has. And how do you feel like those two guys, or really those three guys, if they're in the, whoever's in the game, is how they are?
Well, I think they've watched enough film. They're pretty well aware that these guys are fast. It doesn't take any too long, one or two plays, and you can tell that they've got great speed on offense. So we've harped on angles since day one, going back to spring. So it's nothing new. They just got to go out and be able to, perform.
In terms of the communication as well, you guys run a lot of communication through the safeties. Just with them going up tempo, you guys have to simplify the calls with them, and what's the onus on them?
Yeah, we've been prepping for it for a long time. So our calls are basically the same.
Did Dobbs give you much of a look?
Yeah, Dobbs is athletic. Boy, he took off a couple times in our scout teams, and he's really a great athlete.
Coach, the way they play, how concerned are you with just if they rattle off 2 or 3 scores real quick, and what you got offensive have gone through now? How the guys just got
that's part of it. We've got to be able to handle adversity. We've got to be able to bounce back. We've got to be able to snap and clear and regroup on every single play, every single possession.